welcome to our first official episode of our Take Her Places podcast. Today we're going to be talking about speech and debate versus Model UN, the rivalry, which one you should choose. So I've been doing speech and debate for 3 years. I've been focused on platform events, so oratory and informative speaking, and maybe I'll have to explain what those are, but basically I've been doing speech and debate for a while, and I know what it's like to be a novice in a lot of different events. I've been a novice in debate a lot of times, and I know what it's like to talk to novices about speech and debate and convincing them to join. So,
I've done Model UN for 3 years now. Next year will be my 4th year. And I would say that Model UN is kind of like a mixture of both speech and debate because basically you have to write papers, which it isn't as much work as it seems like. Like I think that it's just you have to be focused, but that's like we can talk about that later, like what it entails. But basically, there's two parts, like like prep before the conference, which is like the main event where you compete, and then during the conference, you're tested to kind of see your ability to work with others and find solutions to problems that were given to you previously. So basically, you write papers about each of those topics, and then from the viewpoint of a country that you're given in a specific committee. And we can get into that a little bit later. It's kind of complicated, but like simple at the same time. So it's a process for sure, but like I think that Modern really helped me find a lot of people that are like-minded, and I've also been able to like really develop my interpersonal skills. I feel like speech and debate probably helps with that too, right?
yeah. A lot of both Model UN and speech and debate is about public speaking, and that's definitely a reason why people join to improve their public speaking skills. So I definitely think that both Model UN and speech and debate could improve your public speaking if that's something that you're concerned about. I do think with speech and debate, you can tell when someone has gone through like speech and debate from their speaking style and everything, like how they carry themselves. So it really like does, I don't know, you can definitely see it on people. And about the prep, I think both Model UN and speech and debate, they're extracurriculars where it's the amount of effort you put in is really how much you get out of it, because there are definitely people who, are there and they're having fun and they just like don't really put as much effort into it, which is fine as well. But if you really want to improve your speaking skills and your researching skills and everything that comes along with Model UN and speech and debate, you have to like put in that effort as well.
For sure. Just make sure you don't like if you choose to do like we're assuming that you like the audience will be interested in joining these clubs in the future, but just don't do both because we've had friends who have done both, and it's a lot of pressure to like keep up with both commitments because oftentimes the competitions for both clubs like are in the same window of time. So it's one or the other. I think we know which one is better.
I was gonna talk about that too. It definitely is possible to do Model UN and speech and debate. People have done it before, they've done well with it. But the thing is that competition days do land on the same days, and it's like physically impossible for you to be in two places at once. So I would say it's better to focus your energy on one thing. For speech and debate, there are so many different events, and I would recommend at the beginning trying a bunch of different events out. Obviously, speech and debate, there are different speech events, there's different debate events. So maybe like trying things out because you never know. I think there's something for everyone in speech and debate where in speech you can like write your own speech or take something from maybe like a movie you love and perform that in front of an audience. That's like really creative. Or with debate where it's like you're researching, you're building your case, and then you can argue both sides of it, which is so cool. I think with all of that, it's like just there's something for everyone, and you really have to dabble in things in the beginning, but don't spread yourself out that thin, I feel like is my point. If you're not sure about something, maybe just like go in and just do it. Try to commit to that one event or speech and debate or Model UN, right? And don't be like, oh, I want to do
Everything.
everything, because you're not gonna have the time or the energy to really put in quality work into either club or the event that you're doing if you're committed to so many events or so many clubs as well.
Yeah. So, while speech and debate is more versatile, Model UN is a little bit more narrow, and I say this because it's more like obviously in the name. It's Model United Nations, so it has a political like perspective to it. But there are a variety of committees that you can join. Just like Hannah said that there were different events for speech and debate. Each conference has like a specific group of people that focus on different topics, and that's basically what a committee is. And each committee has, like, for example, there's first committee that talks about like nuclear warfare or nuclear like disarmament, things like that. Third committee is more like social and humanities kind of based, and then the overarching body is General Assembly, where that committee approves everything, like all the other committees, like their final solutions to the problems that they have been given. And then there's also special committees that are smaller and they are more specialized. Well, in the name, they focus on things that pertain to only a small number of countries. So there is variety in Model UN, but not as much as speech and debate, because there's still that political mindset that you have to make sure that you um, maintain. But I think it's also extremely interesting because you see how politics can intertwine with science, with society in general, like how people interact with one another, and it's important to see um, how important research is to like connect these different fields together. So I think that's one of the things that I was able to, more than public speaking, it was actually research that I think I learned how to do better after joining Model UN. But yeah,
I was gonna say that too. Yeah,
yeah,
about the research component of it. With speech and debate and Model UN, you just like picture the person in their suit and they're like speaking. But I think a lot of it is behind the scenes. You're at home and you're like on your laptop for hours and you're researching your topic, trying to build
emphasis
your
on
case.
hours.
What?
Emphasis on hours.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to build your case or like write your speech, and you really get to know the topics that you're learning about, especially with debate, since the topics change out often. It's you're learning like this new little like slice of like politics or the economy every single time, and I feel like that process of researching is really overlooked. I feel like when I first joined speech and debate, I didn't think it would be that much research.
Yeah, when I joined Model UN, to be honest, I first joined it because my cousins went to the same school as where me and Hannah are going now, and they had both done Model UN, so they were like, "Oh, it's a really good club. Colleges love it," and I joined it, not thinking much of it. And at first, it was pretty, but then like I got to experience my first conference, and then that I think was the turning point for me because like I saw how much that work that I put in, even though like at first my heart wasn't into it, it really did help me. And from then I've been like, I don't know, excited to write papers and stuff because it like that feeling of satisfaction. Because at my first conference, I think I it was a novice conference. It was meant for people who and were in their first year of Model UN, and I somehow managed to win best paper. And from then it was like, oh, if I put in this work and if I'm able to like really dive deep and be one with the topic, it's really easy to like reap the success of, or yeah, reap what you sow. But then it applies to like if you don't really pay attention or if you just goof off, and there's really no point if you want to join these clubs. Like you have to be at least interested and willing to like perform like as much like, to the best of your ability so that you can reap something out of it. Even if you don't win, you still have like interesting experience. You make friends, you meet a lot of really, really great people who you stay in touch with. Like I'm sure, Hannah, in your like speech and debate or speech events, you've met a lot of people from other schools that
Mhm.
you're still in touch with.
Yeah, definitely. You can like learn so much about like other schools and how their teams work and other people and making those connections, which is really important in high school too. And asking questions. I know you were talking about how like you had family that was also like through the Model UN pipeline. I think that definitely makes it less intimidating if you already know people who have went through, done the club. I think that I know I was talking about earlier how you shouldn't spread yourself too thin. You should focus on like a certain event. But I also feel like a lot of people are too scared to start because they feel like, oh, like it's too late. Like I don't know what I'm doing. But obviously there are
Let
like,
me tell you.
yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. Okay. Um, there we had a senior who joined Model
Hmm.
UN his senior year. He was a novice. I mean, he had done speech and debate before, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Wow, what an
Yeah.
icon. Hmm.
So he at the end of the year competition at Mesa Community College. That's like our main. That's what we like really prepare for every year. He won almost all of the awards in his committee, but I mean, even though he had experience in speech and debate, they're two different things. So it's like he was able to do that with
Hmm.
almost no experience in Model UN. So it's
Yeah.
like you got this. If you try your best, you can do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's like ever too late to start maybe like trying out a new event. Just don't try to do everything at once. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you want to commit yourself to doing something new, then go for it. I know so many like sophomores who were doing Model UN, like they joined like spontaneously, and I was like, oh, what are you doing there? But they actually ended up doing like pretty well, right? And it doesn't even matter if you win or not, right? It's about like going through that process of like researching and performing. I definitely do agree with you with like the first competition thing where you kind of feel like, okay, I don't know, I don't get it. And then you have that first competition and you're like, wait, I kind of like being at competitions, having like all these people like to talk to and learning new things and seeing what other people have to say. And it's so cool, especially if well, for Model UN you have your like novice competitions, right? Where only novices compete. For
Yeah.
debate, that's similar, where you have novices only go against novices, and then speech, it's like open. But that definitely does lower how intimidating it is. So if you're thinking like, oh, it's too late to start, like everyone's ahead of me, it's like, no. You know,
And
the
that's
people that
the
you're going
mindset
against are
that
probably
you
new
should
too.
have because then like it really is too late for you. Like if you don't
Yeah.
want to start, then you'll never start, and then you'll just like always be behind. You just have to like push yourself. Like I I sometimes still do struggle with public speaking, but I was much, much, much worse in my freshman year, especially since I had moved from a different state to start like anew in high school. It was like I think doing like if I hadn't pushed myself to kind of branch out and join a bunch of or not a bunch of but like a couple of clubs, I don't think I would have been able to not only find new friends but also like become a better version of myself who's more confident and who's able to speak her mind without without being like rude about it, and being assertive basically.
Mhm. Yeah, standing up for yourself. I think that's definitely something that for like girls. It's like difficult where it's like, oh, you're supposed to be more quiet and stuff like that. But speech and debate, a lot of people do say like it gives you a voice, it gives you an audience that has to listen to you, and that's definitely empowering. So I would say like I don't know. I guess it's the same for Model UN.
Um, I mean, I wasn't. I mean, I guess yeah, I've seen kind of undercurrents like that, but it's like more just the fact that like the quiet people just don't matter, and the louder people are the ones who always should win awards. Like that's like in a rigged conference, that's how it usually ends up. Even if the louder delegates are kind of like jerks,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think that whether or not the person is a girl, if they're like just not standing up for themselves, then they're just like discounted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that like is so I feel like it's a catch-22 because if you're quiet as a girl, they're just gonna look over, like, you're gonna get looked over. And then if you're too loud and you're too assertive, then you're gonna be called rude and stuff
Yeah.
like that. More so than a guy would if they were being loud.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I remember my freshman year at one of the conferences, there was this guy who just would not open his mouth. One of my friends had to go and talk to him about like a plan. We were writing up our final like draft of our solution, which is called a resolution. Um, and she had to keep going to him and asking him what he wanted. He like we I'd never heard him say like a word to a big group, but somehow he ended up winning best delegate, which means like best delegate is the award that people win when they have like a really good paper score and also a really good delegate score, which didn't really make sense to us because he didn't really talk much.
Mhm.
So, but like my friend who really did deserve that award, she didn't really. She I think she might have gotten runner up or maybe not even, which is
Which
kind
is
of
so weird.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is why, like, at the same time, don't put so much, like, on winning or losing, because a lot of the time, it really doesn't reflect how well you're doing, you know? Um, I feel like a lot of people burn out that way because they're not getting the awards or they're not seeing, oh, like,
Mhm.
I'm not the best like for this one or whatever happens in Model UN, and they're like, okay, I should just like give up or whatever. And I
I
don't
think
know, I feel
so,
like it's
yeah.
so
Like
sad.
that mindset is definitely like common, but isn't the best. Like, I mean, I admit that there have been points in time where I'm like, am I not good enough? Like,
Mhm.
why am I not able to, like, I'm sure everyone has gone through that, like, phase of feeling like down because, oh, like, I'm putting like, all of this work in, but I'm not getting anything out of it. But you really do get things out of it. Like, it may not be like like a paper, like, oh, you, like, Sarvani McNary got best like no like it doesn't have to be like a tangible object. It can just be the fact that you're more you've learned how to become more flexible when talking to others, more diplomatic, or you found a new friend that you're still in touch with. Like those are the things that really do matter. And winning and losing, like you said, really doesn't matter because you can still build yourself up um, to be like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like I have won maybe a couple of awards, but I feel like what really made me like qualified to be like a leader in Model UN was my ability to work with others.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah,
think the ability to lead is better than having more awards.
I definitely agree. I think for the longest time, like I wasn't doing that well in speech and debate, but I was one of the more involved members in it, like my event,
Hmm.
and was I feel like I didn't at some point in like freshman year at the end of the season, I didn't really mind that I wasn't getting any awards or anything like that. I just thought like, hey, it's just fun to like hang out with the people that I've met like in speech
Yeah,
and debate, and they really do become your closest friends. I feel like I don't know, you guys just like go through things together, like practicing your speech and like doing rounds together, and it really is a pretty like great community, and you can find people who have amazing advice. I think something that I like a piece of advice I would give myself for like starting out speech and debate or even model UN is just asking the leaders there about like stuff like that and asking them for help because genuinely like they enjoy giving help. Like I really love talking to people about my event and speech and debate in general, and it's
hmm
never like, oh my gosh, someone's asking me about like
I
this
want to talk
club.
about it.
Yeah, and like they have really good advice and they have that knowledge that they've accumulated from experience themselves, and you should just talk to them, and they're like probably like really friendly and amazing people. So
I'd also suggest, like, from my experience, I didn't really open up to anyone in like club meetings in Model UN my freshman year until like the end,
Mhm.
which I kind of regret now. Like it's not the end of the world that I didn't, but I feel like if I had opened up to others and started talking to others and kind of making myself known a little bit more beforehand, it would have really helped me feel more confident. And that's what I would suggest to our audience, our viewers. Like, make sure that you're putting yourself out there and kind of like, even if you don't like, you aren't successful at first, there's something in that like in my culture there's something called like speaking first. Like if you speak first, most of the time people will talk back and they will like they won't be mean about it.
Mhm.
So like there's nothing wrong in you going up to someone and being like, hey, what's your name, blah blah blah. Like, I mean, as long as you're not weird about it,
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll respond.
Yeah, I think it's definitely scary. Like, I thought, oh my gosh, these people are like so intimidating, right? But then when I was a speech captain and like people literally like DM me on Instagram, like, hey, like didn't know if I should join your event or not. Can you like give me a rundown? It's like fine. I would just give them the
Yeah.
info. I'd be like, hey, you know what? We would love for you to join. That'd be so cool. And I don't know, getting over that fear, especially like entering high school and all of the new people and everything. It's like overwhelming. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I just wanna not be seen right now. I don't know. But these clubs like provide a really great community and people who are like pretty tight too. So
Like-minded individuals, I think
mhm.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's a diverse community, but at the same time they all want to be there, or at least most of them want to be
Yeah.
there. We have some members in Model UN that are a little interesting, but we love everyone.
Yeah. I think I don't know, that's what makes it fun, like the variety of people and the community and going through, like prepping together. It definitely helps. I
Yeah.
remember when I was trying out debate, I was like, "Hey, can you like help me with my prep? Because I don't know if this card is looking right, like if my evidence is looking right." And I don't know, it's just it's
It's
nice
worth
to
the
have people.
experience. I think
Yeah.
it's worth the effort. You definitely like anyone can get something out of it, whether it's an award or a friend, a skill. Yeah, I definitely think that if I mean, it's not even just about college. Like at first, maybe it started out that way. Like, oh, I just want colleges to think that I'm like smart or something.
Mhm.
But like, it's just about the community that you build for yourself.
Yeah. Wow, that is so deep. I definitely do think like it helps with um just in general, like your high school life. Even though people are like, "Oh, you're gonna have no social life if you join like a nerdy club."
I think you have more of a social life,
Yeah, I
like
feel
for
like you
sure.
do. And there's like people who are like older than you, and you can ask them about the classes that you want to take the following year, and they have like good experiences. And then you know people from the club, so maybe you'll be in a class with them and you can talk to them about it. And
And there's always those out of state competitions that are super fun because you get
yeah,
to like experience a different like I mean last year we went to Chicago for an out of state Mommy Run conference and it was definitely worth it. It was like even if it was in the winter.
oh, little
Super
field
cold.
trips. Yeah, Speech and Debate does that too. There's definitely out of state tournaments that we go
Yeah.
to, and it's fun. So
And
yeah,
if any of you guys are going to Hamilton and are interested in joining Model UN, we will be attending Yale
drop a
University.
comment if if you want to go to Hamilton and join Model UN and go to Yale for their trip. So you know, yeah, I definitely do think it helps in class too. Like if you have those Model UN or speech and debate skills, like researching, speaking skills, everything. Like when a teacher is like, "Hey, we're gonna like share," then I'm not as scared about it because I know like, hey, I can speak. I have those skills, right? And I know like how to make myself look like I know what I'm talking about, which actually is
I think
such
exactly.
a
I think
life skill.
um the main thing is like fake it till you make it sometimes. Like some of the topics can be extremely like technical
Mhm.
and you may not know everything, but if you literally are just confident and you believe in yourself, you can just like honestly yap and
Yeah.
get away with it. That is like the basis of both speech and debate and Model UN, yapping.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of it is like presenting yourself. And that's something that you don't really do often. Like you don't get like an audience placed in front of you and like here, speak to them. And it's like, whoa, you know? And after a while it's like, I don't know. You just get used to it. And
I think
yeah.
the one thing that like it is important to consider, just like there's like a positive like side, there could be some negatives
Mhm.
as well. It's not the clubs themselves, it's just sometimes the environment can be a little bit like overwhelming,
Yeah.
I would say,
That's the word I was
especially
gonna
during
use too.
competitions, because a lot of people are extremely aggressive. And I think one thing that I learned in my 3 years is to not be like those kinds of people. In we call them shark delegates who
Mm.
try to like talk over others, impose their ideas, basically just get their whole like group to do whatever they want rather than hearing people's ideas out, which is extremely detrimental to the point of the like either club. It's like, what's the point of working together if you're just gonna talk over other people? So I think that toxicity that comes it from that like competitive environment also needs to be like kept in mind so that we
Mhm.
can avoid it.
Yeah. Because it is like competition, right? A lot of people are pretty cutthroat. They want to win. Especially from other schools, there's definitely always some kind of talk about some team where they aren't playing fair or something like that. Where, at the end of the day, you just have to like make sure that you're doing well and you're like doing what's right and you're playing fair and you're, putting your best self out there instead of trying to take advantage of how, the competition works or something like that.
Yeah, like try to win by like fair and square, because trying to show like, oh, other people are doing something wrong is like not really going to help you, especially if you did the same thing and then you're caught, which is what happened at one of the conferences. Like it was AI use, as we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Someone ratted another person out, and then they got caught using AI as well. So then it was like they lost the chance to win. And it's not about winning, but it's like it's just,
Yeah.
why would you do that to yourself?
That's why people who prioritize winning so much, it like hurts them in the long run, right? Because if you're using like AI, it really doesn't help you. It just helps you use AI. Like you're just going to be using AI in the future and you're not going to be building those skills, which sounds so like boring. Like let me use the AI. Let me like take the shortcut. But
And the thing is,
yeah.
like using AI itself isn't a problem.
Yeah.
It's just the way you use it. Like for example, um, using AI to kind of guide you in terms of information
Hmm.
is fine, but like asking AI to like
Write your case.
write your papers
Yeah.
for you, or like generate like in Model UN when we're at a conference, there's things called P23s and P25s, which are short speeches and comments or questions that you ask in response to someone's speech. So like if you're generating those questions on like ChatGPT or something rather than like thinking of them yourself, then it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you there? Like, you should just ask the computer to do everything for you. Like, maybe the computer should like, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I don't know how anyone can do that and then feel good about winning after or like feel good after because it's like, okay, you didn't do anything.
yeah, and it's so much work actually trying to like. Once I got home from that conference, I actually tried to generate P23s and P25s on ChatGPT, and it was so hard because I didn't know how to do it. And it was like, why are you spending that much time trying to figure out how to do that rather than just like writing down questions as the person up front is talking? Like
Mhm.
it's really not that hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. People definitely do it in speech and debate too. I just probably haven't noticed.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you haven't noticed, then that probably means that they're doing it a little less. Let's hope.
maybe.
So I mean,
Maybe
yeah. So
it's
guys,
like
no cheating, no cheating.
my event where it's like 10 minutes worth of a speech. Like you have to memorize the whole thing too. So, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think that's kind of hard to cheat on, right? Because like
Yeah. Do you have anything else that we needed to mention, or
I think we went through quite a lot for the
I
first
think
episode.
honestly we agreed on too much. Like how this is, how are they going to choose which one to join?
I think they know the right answer.
This is so true. Comment down below if you know the right answer. Model UN or speech and debate?
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna
But
be.
we're so happy that you guys watched this video, and we hope you found something, like, you took something out of it, because, I mean, I'm sorry, we yapped for quite a long time, but I'm hoping that it taught you at least something, like, whether that's, like, or, like, validated you, like, oh, you're doing your best, and it doesn't matter whether you win or not,
Yeah.
you know?
And in the end, does it really matter if you choose speech and debate or Model UN?
Whatever happens,
Comment
happens. We're
down
both
below.
glad to, like, have you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Stay tuned for our next episode.